Hello folks and welcome to the watch along for the Qatar Grand Prix sprint race. We're about 10 minutes out from the race start, so welcome along. And yeah, let me know who you think is going to win this race. Lando Norris dominant in qualifying. George Russell almost pipping him to that pole position, but not able to move the McLaren off of top spot, but did get his Mercedes onto the front row. And yeah, I think it's going to be quite an interesting race. They'll probably just run medium tyres, but this is a track that is hard on tyres, so you've got to manage the temperatures. It's going to be a bit warmer than it probably was in qualifying. So yeah, we will wait and see. Let's say hello to everyone in chat so far. Hello to Renz, hello to Pulse Potato, to James, and tonight. Only a few people here yet, but I'm sure the rest of the gang will be here soon. Yeah, we've just watching Nico Hülkenberg getting into his car in the Haas. He is in the top 10, I believe. He is 9th on the grid. So it's Norris, Russell, Piastri, Sainz, Leclerc, Verstappen, Hamilton, Gasly, Hülkenberg and Lawson, the top 10. Now, Sergio Perez and Franco Colapinto are starting from the pit lane. I'm not sure why that is. I'm just going to have a look on socials to find out. Unless someone can tell me in chat why they've taken that decision. Hey Sean, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Great to have you with us. Let's have a look. Where are the Formula One? Here we go. Let's have a look. Anything on F1's Twitter X page? No. With Perez, I'm sure they're just testing out a new setup or something for him, just to maybe give him a bit more confidence. And not sure what the case would have been with Colapinto, but anyway, Williams deciding to start that car from the back of the grid, or the pit lane even. It's super important final two race weekends for Haas, VCarb and Alpine in their battle for P6. Yeah, couldn't agree more. Not only is there the fight at the top of the Constructors' Championship, on which we have to keep an eye on today, obviously points handed out in the sprint race. Both McLarens ahead of both Ferraris, and the gap at the moment is something like 24 points, I think. If I just have a quick look, it is 24 points. So yeah, I mean, if Ferrari were to say score first and second and McLaren were to have a disastrous sprint and score no points at all, that would be 15 points taken out of that gap straight away. It'd be down to 9 points with 2 Grand Prix remaining, which would be very interesting. What's the gap? It's a very small gap between Haas, Alpine and VCarb. They are covered by just 4 points. Haas have 50 points, Alpine 49 and RB have 46. So yeah, a big result for either of those teams, any of those teams, could be very, very important in terms of the amount of money that they receive at the end of the season. Obviously, all three teams have a car in the top 10. Gasly, Hülkenberg, Lawson. What are the second drivers saying? Where's Tsunoda? He's 16th. In fact, interestingly, so Alpine, Haas and VCarb are literally with all three of their, with both of their drivers, they're all in little groups, 2 little groups. Because you've got Magnussen and Tsunoda 15th, 16th and 17th on the grid. So we'll have to keep an eye out on them through this race. Yeah. Justin's just made it in time. If Albon wins the race, then Williams are in the fight. Hey, don't give Justin hope. He would love to see an Alex Albon win. Justin was out shopping. I've just been to the beach. Not beach weather, just went for a little walk along the beach. It's nice to be able to do that from time to time. And yeah, let me know who you think is going to win this race. I think Lando Norris is going to be, as long as he beats Russell off the line, I think he'll be near enough unbeatable. But if Russell gets ahead, we've seen that he's a good front runner. The Mercedes has some pace here, so yeah, could be game on if George gets into the lead. Not easy to follow around the Qatar circuit either. So yeah, if you're in front, track position is going to be key. Norris bottle off the line. We've seen it before. You need to set up the dodgy stick. Oh dear. Curious about your opinions. Which drivers would you like to see in the GM Cadillac F1 seats when 2026 arrives? I've been seeing a few rumours about Bottas. I think they need a proper experienced driver in there. Bottas would be a great shout. He's clearly fast. He'll be hungry after a year out of the sport. Who would go alongside him? I think they'll try and find a way of getting Colton Herta in there. Whether he gets enough super license points is the big question. Who else could they put in alongside a Bottas? You need someone the American market's going to know. Is my audio out of sync? It's playing the... Yeah, my audio's out of sync. Oh, it's the... we don't want audio commentary. That's what's going on. The live timing was playing the intro music and I was really confused. Back to who I think should be in the... Yeah, I think they'll go for Colton Herta. I think they'll find a way of getting him on the grid with the super license points, or even like a provisional super license, see how he does in the first few races. Something like that. Let's get the stream back up. That was weird. I was like, oh my god, it's broken. But no, it was just the live timing. Yes, we will go to the live timing now. Let's do exactly that because we are seconds away from the start. There we go. Right, let's just get that positioned a bit more nicely. There we go. We're going to sync it up with what's actually happening on the screen. Obviously, if you want to sync up as well, I am just at the point where they're showing the F1 Sprint Qatar graphics. So I'm also going to get my onboard ready. Who do you think I should ride on board with in this race? Normally I ride on board with Lewis Hamilton on the Sky Sports app. But let me know who you would like to see, well, who you want me to keep an eye on, basically. Right, I'm getting the grid now. They both changed their setup, did Colapinto and Perez. That would explain that. Paul Aaron as a reserve driver for Alpine. Yeah, that's a good step for him. Obviously, he was part of the Mercedes Academy at one point. Obviously, would have been disappointed to have lost that opportunity, but what we have to remember is the new Alpine boss, what's his name, Ollie Oakes, he is the former high-tech boss in Formula 2, so that makes sense. He knows what Paul Aaron can do, and yeah, he's shown his skill because he took a dominant pole yesterday in Formula 2. Knight suggesting that Cadillac could run Drogovic and Crawford. Yeah, maybe Jack Crawford, if he does well next season in Formula 2, could really put himself in the picture. So we'll wait and see. Right. My pick is Lando Norris. Who is going to win this race? Let me know in the chat. Alonso, says James Grindley. I don't think that's going to happen. Justin says he prays that Albon wins, but there's more chance of Jesus appearing at his house. God. Yeah, I don't think Cadillac will go for two rookies. They'll go for a veteran. They need a veteran because even Audi are saying that they need a veteran, and they pick Nico Hülkenberg. Piastri. Ooh. Piastri to win the race. Obviously, he won this sprint last year. There's Perez. Just getting my 2 streams synced up. Obviously, if you can in the chat, avoid spoilers for anyone who might be behind. Russell actually taking the lead off of the formation lap. He shouldn't do that. Now the championship is done, Piastri can do whatever he wants. Yeah, team orders will be out the door for McLaren, but they don't want their drivers crashing into each other because they've got a Constructors' Championship to win. So 8 points for the win, 7 for second, 6 for third, and they run all the way down to 8th. Obviously, last year we saw drivers were very exhausted after the race, but that was a combination of the time of year that they were racing in Qatar and the fact that Pirelli had to impose an 18-lap tyre limit, 18-lap limit on the tyres because of safety concerns. So I don't think we'll have any of that this year. But I think we're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be a fast race. I think DRS could be a factor because they're running bigger rear wings, so you're going to get a nice big push from the DRS. Your Wi-Fi at the caravan is finally working. Can I count up the 5 red lights? Of course I can. Right. Also, it's a standing start, so we will stand. Up we go. There we are. Standing start o'clock. Right, I don't think my timing has caught up yet. We'll refresh it after lap 1 and get it synced up. But here we go. Lewis Hamilton pulling up to his grid slot. I thought he was a bit closer than he was there. Oh yeah, my computer stream is slightly ahead, but that's fine. I'd rather it that way. I'm at the bit where they're lining up. What happened to Perez? He changed his setup, so he's starting from the pit lane. There's the Chinese king himself, Zhou Guanyu. Oh, we've got... We've got changes. Right, here we go. Sprint o'clock, everybody. You can already see some of the things that have changed on the timing. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights in Qatar. Norris versus Russell, the lights are out, the race is on. Decent start by Lando Norris, no bottling this time. Hamilton away well in the middle of the pack. The Ferraris looking for a way through. Hamilton looking for a way up the inside. Piastri going around the outside of Russell. He's going to... Can he make it stick? Oscar Piastri into second place. Great move by the Australian. He moves himself up into second position. Hamilton right on the back of the Ferraris. Russell fighting back. Oh, Hamilton. Hamilton round the outside of Sainz, or Leclerc even. That was superb. Let's get them going through sector 1, I think. Or sector 2 even. Don't actually know where sector 2 is, but we'll get it synced up. So there's the order, and Norris already a second clear. He's pulling out a gap. Great start for the Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton. And for Oscar Piastri. Fabulous stuff. Zhou is actually on softs. That's going to be fun. Verstappen's had a disastrous start. He's down to 9th. What has happened to the new world champion? And Lawson down to 16th. Right, let's get them as they come across the line. Hamilton right on the tail of Charles Leclerc. That Mercedes looking quick today. Will that translate into qualifying speed later on? Right, I think we've got the timing synchronized with what's happening on my screen, so it should be all good there. Albon's so bad at starts. Yeah, well, it might be the start function within the Williams as well. Hulkenberg's up 2 places. He is up to 7th. Great start from the Hulk. He's going to be so wasted in that Sauber next year. It's actually hideous how wasted he's going to be. But this is great for McLaren. They're first and second. They've got a Mercedes in between them and Ferrari, and another Mercedes splitting the Ferraris. This is absolutely perfect for the Woking team. What do they need to be clear of Ferrari to win the Constructors this weekend? I think they have to score 20 points more than Ferrari, perhaps. But it needs to be, what, 44 points clear? Maybe 45? Verstappen will get his first opportunity to pass Pierre Gasly here. DRS will be open. Russell has the DRS as he chases down Oscar Piastri. He's closing in. Piastri not bothered though. Turns in for turn 1 as normal. He's closing in on Norris, so yeah, this all could get a little bit tight at the front. I think they'll have to manage tyre temperatures, engine temperatures at some point as well. Verstappen did not get past. Colapinto and Perez haven't caught the pack yet. They're still 4 seconds off the back of Tsunoda. And Colapinto's got ahead of Perez, honestly. Magnussen up 4 places. Yeah, great start for Haas. They've had an excellent first lap. The F1 24 graphics have improved massively. Right, so as it stands, McLaren would score 15 points, Ferrari only 8. Red Bull would actually score nothing. And that would definitely see them out of the running for the Constructors' Championship this season. I think they needed to win both races, first and second, and the sprint or something ridiculous. Right, Russell. Does he have DRS? Yes, he does. Piastri does not. The gap is just over half a second. Here he comes. Will he go for it? George Russell! Down the inside! Oh, the angle of the camera makes it look like they're about to make... Oh my gosh! That was super close. That was so close between Russell and Piastri. No quarter asked, no quarter given. That was brave from both drivers. Jenson Button praising both drivers there. Russell complaining. This is going to be a very interesting battle. If this is the sort of picture we have for tomorrow's Grand Prix, this could be very, very interesting, especially if Hamilton can get his qualifying right. Hamilton had an insane launch. Absolutely spectacular launch. Let's have a look at where Verstappen lost it. He's on his own. Hulkenberg's there. What happens to Verstappen? Oh, he gets checked up behind. And then he runs wide. He just gets checked up behind the Ferraris and then it just gets away from him. All right, we're just getting a bit of talk back through the replay. A bit of a swapper there for Verstappen. Just I think he had no tyre temperature, sliding all over the place. Magnussen is behind the real Minister of Defence. Well, Magnussen's got ahead of Alonso. Russell is still right on the tail of Piastri. Really, McLaren should be getting... Oh, that was tight between Russell and Piastri. But maybe McLaren should be giving Piastri DRS from Norris. Piastri's kind of... There you go. I think Norris has just slowed down a little bit. Piastri's within a second. Haas do currently have the advantage. They have a car in the points in Hulkenberg. Alpine are getting a point, so it's VCarb who are in the mud at the moment. Half a second as they cross the line between Piastri and Russell. Has the Mercedes got the speed to close in down the straight? Not this time. I think Piastri's actually got DRS on Norris because he's now zoomed right up to the back of the race leader. Lap 6. This sprint is already a third of the way done, almost. Perez is still last, everybody. Perez is still last. Just, of course he is. Let's have a look at the gaps. It's about a second. Let's get rid of team radio there. We don't want none of that. Don't want the live coverage. There we go. Goodbye. Fastest middle sector from Lando Norris. Pulled 0.3 on his teammate, but the gap is still less than a second. And the top 5 will all, well, the 4 behind Norris will all have DRS on each other. Oh, Magnussen and the 2 green cars there. Right, here we go again. DRS in operation. So it's status quo. They're all going to be homing in on Lando Norris. Will Piastri go for it on his teammate? Obviously, nothing left in the championship, drivers-wise, but they can't afford to A, have a collision and lose points. They can't afford to let Russell sneak through, or Sainz, who's looking pretty quick at the moment. Leclerc, I'm guessing he's just looking after his tyres. He's going to have a big assault in the final 8 or 9 laps of this sprint. Magnussen's got himself up into 10th and is holding off Fernando Alonso. Norris is saying he's trying to give Oscar DRS every lap. Okay, they are working strategically at McLaren. Leclerc actually with the fastest lap last time around. He did a 25.5, 0.2 quicker than the race leader. And Piastri is about a second behind again. We're just under it. 0.8, 0.9. Yeah, this track can lead to problems with the tyres. I don't think it will be such an issue this year. Piastri seems to be fighting the car. I think it's just the turbulent wake of the car ahead. And obviously he's working hard to keep Russell behind in the top 4 closing in. Here comes Max Verstappen down the inside of Pierre Gasly, and the Red Bull driver moves himself into the points. I have a feeling that if Norris wasn't giving Piastri DRS, Piastri would be tumbling down the order. One mistake from Piastri and he is toast. He's losing 2 or 3 positions quite quickly, I would say.
Look at this. I mean, Lando's thinking about what's going on behind him, trying to keep close, him and his teammates safe. From
Red Bull losing Newey and Wheatley is big. Yeah, it's massive.
So clever. If the headlines
I think we're seeing Mercedes go through a similar thing, where certain people are moving on. Obviously, Andy Cowell was one of the first to go, but you're seeing a turnover of people there. Yeah, Hamilton's just dropped back. Probably just... Oh, Russell up the inside. Can't quite make it stick. That Mercedes has got some straight line speed, that's for sure. But yeah, Hamilton's dropped back. Probably just cooling things down a bit. Sainz has dropped back too, I think. And Leclerc is now closing back in. Now, Sainz is still within DRS range, 0.8 of a second. Verstappen is now starting to close in, or at least try to, on Nico Hulkenberg. He was actually a thousandth of a second slower in the first sector of this lap. Hamilton will start closing back into Sainz. Zhou on those softs, honestly. There was a Hail Mary. I think that's what McLaren... Well, I don't think Piastri wants Russell to fight Sainz, because if Sainz comes through, that's an extra point for Ferrari. If you're McLaren, you are happy keeping Russell at arm's length and boxing in Ferrari, making sure that they don't move forward and they're all stuck in the DRS train. Here we go again. Choo-choo down the straight. And Piastri closing right into the gearbox of Norris. Hey Louis, welcome to the stream. Glad you can join us. No, Sauber did not cook with Zhou's strategy. They just cooked a set of soft tyres. Oh, here we've got an onboard of Perez. Oh, Colapinto's mugged him out of the pit lane. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh, it's like a 3-point turn. Perez, honestly. That was dreadful from Perez. Absolutely dreadful. Real amateur hour stuff. Zhou and Aaron are the same, both cook tyres. Hey, I don't cook the tyres. Dementia reactions, God. Well, it wasn't a good reaction time, was it? Right, here we go again. Everyone separated by 0.8 of a second, except Hamilton and Leclerc, who were just over a second and then 0.6 apart. I think with Aston Martin, they're having a bit of a reshuffle, aren't they? Because Dan Fallows is leaving, so they'll just sort of realign everything, make sure that Adrian Newey's at the head of it, and then they will crack on from there, I think. Piastri hovering on the edge of that DRS range. Norris fastest last time round with a 25 flat, 10th quicker than Piastri. Hamilton, interestingly, also matching his teammate. But the McLarens are the fastest car on the track. Piastri just, oh, it was a second there, wasn't it? Then Norris slowing down. Russell now out of DRS. They're really working this strategically, aren't they? Tactically at McLaren. Smart thinking, to be fair, because you need to do everything you can to maximise your points. Russell did get the DRS. Hamilton will be under pressure from the Ferrari of Leclerc. But I don't think the Monegasque has the straight line speed. No, he doesn't. Zhou retired. Well, he had to stop for new tyres. It's 36 seconds adrift at the moment. Sainz with a 24.9, the fastest man last time around. I mean, he was only... Yeah, I mean, Norris did a 24.9, Piastri a 24.9, Russell a 25 flat, Hamilton only a 25.2. The team principal... Sauber don't have a team principal. They have like a team representative, which is Alumni Bravi. And then Binotto is like the CEO or something. Perez is still last of the people who are realistically still in this race. Yeah, it is Alumni Bravi. McLaren need to score maximum points. Yeah, they do. What a move, says Ben. What's happened? Is it Leclerc? It's Leclerc, isn't it? Here he comes. He's going to shoot out to the inside. Dive boom into the turn. Whoa! Contact between the future teammates. No love given or lost here. Around the outside goes Leclerc. That's fantastic. Brilliant move by Charles Leclerc. But great racing from the pair of them. Oh my gosh. Oh, that was fun. That was fun. That was superb. I mean, I don't like Lewis losing places, but you know, if you're going to see great racing action like that, then that's good fun. Leclerc taking some different lines, and he's just trying to gap Hamilton now. They've lost 3 seconds to Sainz. So basically, the thing is, to make the pass with DRS, you need to be about half a second, less than half a second behind, and you can dive it on the brakes into turn 1. Piastri did a me. Oh dear. What's Piastri done? Here comes Russell. Piastri doesn't have DRS this time around. That's crucial. Russell closing in. Oh, it's a big squeeze. It's a big squeeze. Oh, that was tight. Russell won't be happy with that. I'm not sure that was fantastic defending. It was very aggressive. Yeah, Jensen's saying it was a bit late. I thought that too. I need to see an off-board. Yeah, Norris has just dropped him. What was the lap time there? 3/10 the difference. It's now 1.6 seconds because Piastri's driving on his mirrors rather than looking at the gearbox of his teammate. 5 laps remain of this sprint. Yeah, Russell's not happy. You can hear it in his breath as well. They're working so hard around this circuit. And I love that because drivers, these need to be tested. It's a real physical test driving a Formula One car. You don't always hear that. Oh, that was a little bit late. Yeah, I mean... Right, Piastri's back in DRS. Norris did a 25.3 there. And they're back into the train. Is Leclerc catching them? Not really. Not really. It's just like F1 24. You've got a DRS train, it accelerates away from everybody else. Alonso is not the GOAT. Someone time him out for that comment, please. You can't like both Hamilton and Alonso. No, you can't. Oh, Perez in for a change of wing. Oh. Perez, surely that's it. He's done. Because this weekend he's just been completely terrible. It's bad enough changing the setup because he qualified really badly, but then to lose a position, not even like at the start. You're in the pit lane. The light goes green. You go. Joe got Perez. Let's cook. There it goes. Up the order goes Joe. Does Piastri have the DRS? Just. Lap 16 of 19. So, just pointing out there, Button here, that Hulkenberg is doing a great job, and really he is. Verstappen has just not been able to catch him. That makes his well, where did he start? 6th. Yeah, I mean, the Red Bull is not working. Leclerc's just pulled out a second on Hamilton. You can't time someone out on YouTube. Look, you can. Ben can do it. Any more of that Alonso propaganda and it will come. Ben will act. 3 laps to go. Russell closing him. Alonso has 2 world championships. Of course, he's a go. Nope. There are other drivers with 3 world championships, 4 world championships, 5 and 7 world championships. Ben loves Alonso. Does he? Look, I admire Fernando Alonso's talent. I think he's a fantastic racing driver, but he's made some very, very, very bad decisions across his career. He's managed to sort of screw himself out of at least 2 or 3 world championships. Got a replay of Albon. What's going on here? Oh, he's just catching the gravel. There's not been a huge amount happen in this sprint because it's so difficult to follow, but there's been enough to keep us interested. As we move on to the penultimate lap, does Piastri have the DRS here? He's 1.2 behind Norris. He does not have the DRS. Norris is going to have to slow down on this final lap, the penultimate lap, to give him the DRS. Hamilton's dropped back. Russell having another look. Leclerc is coming, but he's 3 seconds back. Oh, Luca. First your PC and now your TV. That is not a good weekend. This has been the most boring sprint by far. Yeah. You need to have tyres that are basically jelly to make this more interesting, because if they can keep pushing like this, yes, it's a sprint, but they're all doing the same thing. You're having gammon for dinner. Very nice. Well, Piastri, Norris has not slowed down for Piastri. Alonso is one of the best drivers in F1 history, but a GOAT is more like Hamilton, Schumacher, Fangio. Yeah. I mean, what for GOAT status, you have to raise the bar. You have to set new standards. Schumacher did that. Fangio did. And Hamilton's done it too. Verstappen may go on to do the same, but has Alonso really done that? I don't think so. Right, here's Russell's last chance with the DRS. Surely he sends it. He sends it! No, he's not close enough. He's not close enough. And McLaren should secure from here. George is just backing out. I wouldn't say he's backing out. He's not close enough. He's just sort of showing himself to try and maybe distract Piastri, force a mistake. Final lap of the sprint. Perez P20, I know. He's not even managed to catch Zhou. I think maybe that tells you more about the Red Bull than it is Perez, because Verstappen's not been able to move himself forward, particularly from losing positions at the start. I think had he come out in 7th place, he'd be 5 or 6 seconds behind this slot anyway. Wait. What's happened, Ben?
He's had a very good view of that rear wing of Oscar Piastri, but that's what he's been looking at all race.
Oh, Norris! Oh, he's given Piastri the win! That was... what? He's given him the Brazil one back. Wow. Wow. That I did not expect to see. Doesn't make a difference to McLaren's points score, but it's just one for each driver, isn't it? Well, that speaks volumes about what McLaren are doing. We all criticised them about the way they begged Norris to give up the win in Hungary, and you could now say that Piastri still owes him for that. Piastri needs the points to stay ahead of Sainz, yeah, that's true. But also it's, you know, one for you, one for me. Well, very interesting from McLaren. That was a surprise on the end. Piastri Qatar King? No, I wouldn't say so. I think if Norris really wanted to, he had Piastri dead and buried today. He'd have beaten by 3 or 4 seconds. No points for Alpine and VCARB, but Hulkenberg gets a very valuable 2 points for Haas. Moves them slightly further ahead of their rivals. But great tussle from Piastri and Russell. That was really good fun. Norris did really well to time that perfectly, because it would have been easy for him to do it too early, too slowly, and Russell to sneak by and snatch that 2nd place. But yeah, well done to McLaren for getting that correct. Yeah, Piastri was slow. He was only in contention because Norris held his pace. And you have Norris ×2 on F1 Fantasy. Ben, what a shocker. Will I be streaming F1 Manager later? We'll do that. We'll stream F1 Manager tomorrow. We might come back for qualifying though. What do you think, guys? Would we like a qualifying stream? Let me know in the chat. I do have a fantasy league. I did start an AHGP one this season, but I never stayed up to speed with it. But maybe next season we do a fully fledged AHGP fantasy league. Loving the white overalls for George Russell and Lewis Hamilton this weekend. Could I link it? Yeah, I mean there's only 1 week left. Next season, you go tell us. See, I've only ever done one fantasy league properly, and that was a mate of mine. His mate was running it. He did all the stat inputs and everything. So you put in a tenner, and each month you'd have a Manager of the Month award, which I won twice. So yeah, I won some money out of that, which was good fun. But I never tend to keep up with it. Alright, I think we will try and come back for qualifying later on. It's usually around dinner time though, 6 till 7. So we shall see. I might have my dinner here with me at the desk. We won't stand for qualifying. We'll probably sit for that an hour of qualifying. I'm not sure I can stand through, but yeah, that will be fun. Let's just have a look at this replay of Norris. It looks like he's had a failure, but actually he's not. He's just lifted out of the final corner, not accelerated. Yeah, very well choreographed by McLaren. I think that was the plan all along, don't you think? Anyway, thanks for watching, thanks for joining, and yeah, we'll see you for qualifying. You're the best fans. It's bye for now.